go for it.
Hello, my name is Doris Russell, and I'm going to tell you today a little bit about myself and why I decided to go back to school after all these years. Obviously, I'm not your typical college student, and I chose this bag because in a way it represents what I do for a living now. I work in a medical practice. I do insurance billing. I work with a lot of different insurance companies. I'm not plugging Blue Cross Blue Shield because I work with all the insurance companies. I work with Cigna, United Healthcare, Medicare, all the insurance companies. And when I was thinking about what to put in this bag that would illustrate me and my life, I thought about how ironic it is that a lot of the things, the major events in my life, I have a certificate for. It's kind of funny that a piece of paper represents something so life-changing. The first certificate I'm going to show you is my birth certificate, and you don't have to zoom in on the year, but you can see it's old because they don't make them like this anymore. So I was born to a family, I was raised with a family of 4. I have one sister, and we did not have a lot growing up, but we had a lot of family, a close-knit family, a lot of extended aunts, uncles, and cousins, and we were raised with a faith in God that has got me through all my life. With that faith has got me through many things over my life, and it has brought me where I am today. My mother only graduated through the 8th grade, so it was really important for us to graduate high school, and we did. My sister and I graduated high school, so my next certificate is my diploma. And so I graduated from high school and really couldn't afford to go to college at the time. I didn't even have a car to drive, so I had to go straight to work. And I always planned to go back to college when I was financially a little more stable and a little more independent and had a car to drive. But life changes, and I met someone, and we got married, and that will be 33 years ago next month. So you can see how yellow my marriage certificate is. But we started a family pretty quickly. We were building a home, and our first son was born. These are the birth certificates. Our first son was born, and then 3 years later, our second son. So life changed for me, and supporting my family and raising my family became the priority for me, and it kept me busy. So we worked, and our free time we spent taking care of our children and ball games and school functions, and time flew by, and they were entering their teenage years, and surprise, I found out I was pregnant again. So my third son was born 10 years later, and life really changed because I had a son entering high school, a son entering middle school, and a baby at home. So the next 20 years of my life, 18 at least, we're busy. I've raised kids for nearly 30 years. So it really changed my thought process and the ability. But about 2 years after my youngest son was born, I had another life-changing event, and that the company that I worked for moved out of the country. So I had a choice to make, and I took a leap of faith, and I went back to school, to a trade school, and after a year I got a diploma as a medical coding specialist, and that led to, I went ahead, and these are my next certificates. I have my certified professional coder license, and then a few years later I was certified as a medical chart auditor, And that is what I've done for the last 16 years. But I've always wanted to go back to school, and my life has changed once again. My youngest son has graduated high school now, and all my kids are through school. So I've decided that it is time for me to go back and get the degree that I've always wanted. So the last frame is empty, but I hope this is where I'm going to put my accounting degree. And that's